we have 76 current users deployed. What that means is we have 152 cameras deployed. So because of the way Montgomery County Police deploys their officers on a daily shift basis, we didn't want to tie them to a station, so they had to begin their shift at the beginning at the station and end their shift at the station. So we got 2 cameras for every officer. Now, it sounds like a lot and it would be a burden, but on the good side of the negotiations with the vendor, not only did we get the per user cost less than their advertised cost, significantly less actually, we actually got two cameras for the price of that one, even significantly less. Our model has now become the contract model across the nation. In fact, Baltimore County contacted me the other day and said that in the offering that TASER, our vendor, made to them, they used our model as the standard now. So a good result there. In the approximately July, August, September time period, we have 4,773 recordings on file at this point. We have occupied 650 gigabytes of cloud-based storage, and so the storage is not local. We don't host it here. Montgomery County is hosted under evidence.com, a commercial structure, part of this contract arrangement with TASER. Locally, we have the cameras and we have the docks. It's a very simple system. Doesn't require a lot of user intervention. They turn the cameras on, they use them. When they're done, they dock them, they walk away. While it's docked, it uploads and it recharges automatically. Very little user interaction. If there's any errors, it denotes so by a flashing light, and we swap them out with the replacement that we have.
When you say when it's used in the course of enforcement or an investigation, related citizen contacts, how's it used? The number one complaint I get from minority individuals, primarily, is the officer coming up to them and saying, "What are you doing here? Where are you going?" Where there is no crime, there is no suspicion, and it seems to me that it would not fall under. You're not doing it for enforcement, you're not investigating, you're just asking. And to some people, that's the most intimidating, and I think we all know this. This is the most intimidating thing, that people feel they're being singled out for questioning, that they would say one group of kids would be asked this question, and no other group of kids walking around the neighborhood would be asked this question. So are those encounters going to be captured? And if not, why not?
Those we would consider investigative contacts. So if you're investigating a group of people that appear suspicious for whatever reason, or maybe you're thinking there may be drug activity or anything, any investigative contact like that, to ask questions, to investigate something, would require the camera to be activated. And if it potentially leads to enforcement, in those situations, the camera should be activated.
If the evidence is, if the basis is an investigation, and I get a bunch of tapes, and the only kids, or disproportionately the people you investigate, are minority kids who obviously from the tapes are just happen to be standing on the street or walking somewhere, then that's going to lead to a whole other discussion about what constitutes an investigation. The complaints I hear are disproportionality. And there are people who observe other kids walking down streets and doing things and never see those kids in interactions, whereas certain groups of people feel like they wind up in all these interactions. So I can guarantee you that if that's what it shows, then we're going to have another discussion about what's the very basis of an investigation, what makes one group or one group of kids suspicious, and what makes other groups of kids, oh, I'm not worried about that. And I really hope that we think our way through this before we get there. I actually do hope this leads to some changes in behaviors that may be subconscious, but I think that that's the number one thing I hear. And I hear it from lawyers. I hear it from all kinds of people who just aren't dressed like in their professional attire when they're out on the street. And I would like that to go away. I find it amazing the work you all do and the tone that gets set here, our ability to make changes and move forward and do this in a progressive way that a lot of other jurisdictions don't have. And in the last 2 weeks, we've met discussing the ICE detainer program and now this, and they're just great examples of the department looking to how to make sure that the community understands what we're doing and that we're doing things that make everybody safer and not having to drag you in front of an angry council demanding that you become accountable. You guys understand accountability, and it makes our job a lot easier. So thank you.